Hello, my name is Fidel Castro, and I'm from the country of Cuba, as you know. We are a small country and located only 90 miles south of the U.S. And so we are worried that the capitalist bastards up there are going to be striking us with nuclear weapons, so we would like some defensive, of course, nuclear-tipped warheads shipped over to Cuba.
Do you want them just nuclear tipped, or do you want nuclear missiles?
Whatever you got, as long as you can hit Florida, Washington, California, anywhere in the U.S. would be great. Just as many as you can.
We got you. We'll send over some medium-range intercontinental ballistic missiles and
Okay.
get you set up.
And on a side note, are these, could I claim these missiles for defensive purposes?
Of course, that's what we would tell them.
Okay, because I'm just gonna tell the UN, it's defensive.
The capitalist pigs will not be any smarter.
Yeah, those idiots. How will these missiles get to us? Because they need to be secret. We can't let anyone know.
We're gonna get a fat cargo ship, and we're gonna hide the missile in the container.
A missile?
Yeah.
Just one? I mean, come on. It's
Well, we're
America.
obviously gonna send more than one, but we can't put more than one in the ship.
That's true. Now, what are you gonna do if America sees a bunch of USSR battleships coming into Cuba with missiles? I mean,
We're
what?
gonna use submarines to defend the freighters, but
Okay.
we're not gonna have any battleships with them.
Oh, you'd use regular shipping freighters.
That's what we're talking about here.
Commercial use. So it'll be hidden and they won't know.
Boss,
Yes?
I think I found something.
What'd you find?
Sir, we have a plan.
Okay, let's hear the plan, General.
We are going to train Cuban rebels to fight Castro for us. We are going to land troops on the beach.
All right.
We call this plan the Bay of Pigs. And we are going to try and take Cuba back from Castro.
Okay, I like it, but we can't have any American involvement. They can't know it's us.
We will make sure they do not. We will use unmarked ships, and we will make sure that the rebels have no ties to us in any way that is traceable.
All right, I like it. Let's
Yes.
get down to business.
Sounds good.
Sir, have you heard the news?
The news about the Cuban Missile Crisis?
Cuban Missile Crisis.
Who hasn't? 7,000 feet, U-2 planes from America took pictures of defensive missiles that were put in Cuba by the Russians. Now, these missiles are mid-range and long-range nuclear warheaded missiles, and they are planned to be ready within 7 days. Now, the reaction from the American people is very negative. Everyone thinks there's no possible way you can have a defensive missile, but here the Cubans are claiming they have it.
Thank you, sir.
All right, Admiral, let's hear the plans.
Well, we have a number of strategies for defending against the USSR, but our most prominent is a naval blockade around Cuba to avoid any and all Russian ships and submarines. Now, this blockade, they would either have to stop or get shot as they come through.
All right, that sounds excellent, but let's not call it a blockade. Let's call it something different, like a stoppage or maybe a quarantine. That sounds good. All right, General, what do we have from you?
Mr. President, with all due respect, I still think we should go ahead with the airstrikes, but if we don't need to, I recommend that we have my planes on standby around this said quarantine, patrolling the waters. With that, they will be ready to strike at any time.
And how quickly could they do that, sir?
Given the time and place, our planes by air can be ready in a couple days.
All right, let's have them ready by tomorrow. Not 2 days from now, but tomorrow. I want those planes to be ready to attack in an hour, and I don't want anyone to attack unless I've given my explicit order. Is that clear?
Yes, Mr. President.
All right, let's go to work.
Sounds good.
Sir, they're reaching the blockade. What do we do? Crisis avoided.
What's the status?
Sir, the ships are turning around. We can send our boys home.
That's about time. I don't know, have all of them turned around, or are there any stragglers left around?
No, we got them all out. Any other cargo ships that proceeded to turn around, and any others have been checked and served to see that they are cargo.
Alright, let's keep the blockade for a little longer, and then we'll see how this works out with Khrushchev.